Hello and welcome to the channel Gobacksman Spins. Today's video is a vinyl community competition for the channel Northern Vinyl Guy, who is doing a 1 year in the vinyl community competition. So congratulations to him for his first year. I'm about 9 months in now, so I'm heading that way. He's set 9 kind of questions and asked us to talk about 9 different things. So without further ado, I will show you some records. The competition, you can either win some CDs or you can ask him to run into a big snow pile whilst being either naked or chased by a polar bear. So it's a pretty elaborate and dangerous competition, so fair play to him. I think I would go for the polar bear just to see what ensues. So good luck, and hopefully he'll survive the ordeal. And yeah, the first question is, show a lyric or something with a strange word appearing in it. So I'm going to go one better. I'm going to choose the mighty band from Scotland, Teenage Fanclub with the wonderful Grand Prix. But there's a track on here which you can probably see, I think, is that one. And I struggle to actually say it yet alone. It's called Very Similitude. See, I told you I couldn't say it. And I had to look it up what it means, and it is apparently the appearance of being true or real, or another definition was similarity to the truth. And that's from the Oxford Dictionary. I will have put a little picture there to confirm that. So yeah, so this is a great album. If you haven't got this, one of the best bands of the 90s, and this is, I think, this and the follow-up are both brilliant albums, so well worth getting. So that's that one. Second question was to show a press of a record that's foreign to your country. So I've chosen from Birmingham, Duran Duran and the wonderful Rio. Again, if you haven't got this, well worth getting, particularly side 2, because New Religion's a great song. But the closing track's a Save a Prayer, which I think everyone knows. But my all-time favourite Duran Duran song, The Chauffeur. Great bit of synthy pop on that one, so well worth getting. But the pressing I've got, I bought whilst on holiday. So I am from Birmingham in the UK, but I was in Southern Ireland, and which is part of the EU, isn't it? And I found the wonderful Rio album on an Irish press, and it actually, if you can read that very carefully, it says made in Ireland. So there you go, a bit of an Irish version of Rio. Birmingham to Rio to Ireland. Right, question 3 will show a UK artist with a Canadian connection. So the chap I'm going to talk about is Ian McNabb from Liverpool, and he was in a band that are very famous in the 80s for the song Love Is a Wonderful Colour, and they were the Icicle Works. Now, I was listening to the radio the other day, and they were classed as one-hit wonders, and I got all agitated and went, the Icicle Works had loads of hits, but actually when you look it up, the only one that kind of broke the top 40 was Love Is Wonderful Colour, which is a shame, because all of their albums are good. So this was their final album from 1990. But the Canadian connection is he then went on as a solo artist to work with Crazy Horse, which of course all you Neil Young fans will know is his backing band sporadically. And I think the album's called Head Like a Rock, so which I haven't actually got, so that's one I need to track down. But I do love the Icicle Works, and his autobiography, if you ever get the chance, is well worth reading. He doesn't flinch from detail, so lots of stuff about for a time he was living in a triage of 2 women and him, so that's interesting. But there you go, lucky devil. But yeah, that's Ian McNabb. Right. Next question, number 4, is show a little bit of music memorabilia. Now, I instantly thought of these. So I do buy all kinds of shite, as my wife would say. So I had an internet advert for the anniversary of the Who sellout. Believe it or not, Heinz Beans did a limited edition tin can, which has got beans in it. It is full, not been eaten, which obviously mimics the Who sellout cover. But I kind of went one better than that, because when I was at the supermarket to celebrate Elton John's Glastonbury appearance, Marmite did a Rocket Man Elton John thing, and I bought it because it was on offer. I hate Marmite, my wife loves it, but I won't let her eat the Marmite. But there you go, Elton John Marmite, and the Who beans. So come the apocalypse, if the world ends, at least I've got something to eat in this music room. So there you go. Good fun, isn't it? Next one, question 5, show an 80s album. And I don't know why 80s get a bit of a bad rap, but the Northern Vinyl guy loves his 80s. I've been buying over the last 15 years a lot more 80s albums on vinyl, particularly used, because when you're at record fairs and record shops, there's tons, or there was tons of 80s stuff, and it's normally fairly reasonably priced. Quite a bit of 70s stuff. The harder stuff to find is 60s stuff. If it's there, tends to be well battered, or if it's not well battered, very expensive, and you don't see a lot from the 90s. And then the 2000 stuff, the more modern stuff, you probably already bought when it come out. So I think the reason my 80s collection has grown is because of, you know, it's just there. But what I've really enjoyed doing is picking up albums where they've got, you know, the singles, and then finding that actually the album's really good. So I'm going to pick the debut from Terence Trent D'Arby, who is now going under a different name. He's converted, hasn't he? So the new pressings don't have that, have his new name, but I've got the old one. This is a fab album. I mean, the singles, obviously, If You Let Me Stay, Wishing Well, and Sign Your Name. But there's a song called Dance Little Sister that's great on here. It's just a really good album. And the follow-up, which is quite infamous, because it Neither Fish Nor Fowl, that's actually pretty good too. So I'm on the lookout for Vibrator, which I think was the third album, but well worth getting if I was anyone. Question 6, what is the biggest kind of struggle you have with vinyl collecting? I think Northern Vinyl guys down in the deepest reaches of Canada, hence the polar bears. But he's saying just getting hold of records, particularly new stuff, is hard. For me, unfortunately, it's quite easy to get hold of vinyl. The downside is space. So you're continuously shuffling things around. So I've had a really good kind of month for vinyl finds in Jan. If you've watched those videos, Feb has turned out to be pretty good as well. Found some, don't say it, but I found a load for £1. So that's been good. But of course, now you're in that continuously shuffling things around. So I do need to have a little bit of think about what I'm going to do next, because I could do with creating another one of these kind of crates that's behind me to just take a bit of pressure off the shelving. So I've got a cat trying to break in, so apologies for that. Question 7. Show a grail item. Well, this is becoming a grail item, because I mentioned it on a video, and every time I go anywhere, somebody says to me, what are you looking to buy? And I instantly now just go All About Eve and Ultraviolet. So this is their 4th album, where they transitioned from a gothy kind of bit gothy folky band to a gothy shoegazy band. And I've only seen it once out and about in a while, didn't buy it, regretted it ever since. I could get one on Discogs for probably 50 quid, but I really want to just find one in the wild. So when we're in Den Bosch with Dave and Rob, that's my mission, to try and see if I can find a copy of that album. It's actually pretty good, actually. That was that. Question 8. Show a record that is might surprise. Now, one genres of music I haven't really shown any much on my channel is the old prog tag. So Dave Atkinson might pick up at this one. My views on prog are probably totally out of kilter with everybody else who likes prog rock. So, for instance, one of my favourite albums by Genesis would be Abacab. I actually think this is a really good album, one of their best albums. So I can see everyone running to the hills now. So good that over the years, if I saw it cheap, I took the decision to buy all of the different colours. So if you look, they are all slightly, I'm going to be able to show this, all slightly different. So there are 4 different covers, so it's these colours kind of just messed about with. So there you go. So I bought one in the 80s, and then over the years, every time I see it, I buy another one. So that is the complete Abacab collection. So and that, I think, could be Genesis' best album. Yeah, anyhow. And then finally, the last question is shout out a couple of non-music related not vinyl community, that'd be totally defeated. Show a couple of non music channels that you watch. So for anyone who does watch my channel, I have started an epic Stephen King music verse series, and I've delved into, for a bit of research, and also just because of really good channels, 2 Stephen King-esque channels. There's one called Dave Reads King, which is Dave Mousson's channel, and then the other one is SK First Edition. So again, I'll pop some links in the channel description to them. But if you're vaguely interested in Stephen King, both of those channels are worth watching. And if you're kind of interested in the parallels between record collecting and book collecting, it's well worth looking at things like, they've done videos on first editions and what to look out for and things like that, and how to protect the sleeves and how to cover them and that type of stuff. Fascinating world. But I'm not a big book collector, but yeah, it's kind of interesting to see what's out there and what you can get, and actually the prices that first editions can factor. If you think your Beatles records from the 60s are worth a lot, you want to have a look at what a rare first edition book can go for. And yeah, that's it. So Northern Vinyl Guy, hope you survived the polar bear dancing or naked in the snow or whatever you're doing. But good luck with the competition. And if I do win, you'll know what I'll be voting for. Thanks for watching. Get back to my spins. I'll see you on the next one. I better go and sort that flipping cat out.